up, everyone? It's Kait.
And it's JJ.
Wow, JJ. Are you trying to mimic me right there?
Yeah, you kind of have a nice Valley Girl, neutral accent.
Valley Girl is not neutral. Also, that's Eleanor sneezing in the background.
Yeah, if you guys hear some cooing and sneezing, that's Eleanor. She's on the playmat. She's our audio producer this episode.
Aren't you, Eleanor?
Yeah, but it comes out every now and then.
Okay, thank you. Wow. All right. I just didn't know I had such a Valley Girl accent.
See, that came a little too natural for you.
Well, today's episode in our online dating series is all about dropping the hanky.
Hey. Wait. What does that mean?
Dropping the hanky. Yeah. Well, I explained it on the episode. However,
okay, then.
The dropping the hanky is an old Victorian concept where back in the day, women didn't really have a means of showing men they're interested or getting to go on dates with guys. So when they went to a ball, for example, they would see a fine young gentleman from across the room and they would maybe a duke, and they probably would never have the opportunity to speak with him, right? So they're like, how can I get his attention? How can I show him that I'm maybe interested without just going up to him?
So they stared at him like they still do today. And it worked.
No, they did not. That is hilarious because we do that. No, so they do make eye contact and then they dropped their handkerchief on the ground. And the gentleman, the Duke, being the fine gentleman that he is, would come running over and be like, "Oh, madame, you dropped your handkerchief." And she goes, oh my goodness, silly me. Thank you so much. I would have never known I dropped it. Even though she purposely dropped it, but now he comes over and now it begins a conversation between them.
What if the Duke with the yellow teeth and a bit heftier build and smelly breath came over and picked up the hanky?
Okay, all right. Well,
because then it's fair game. It's just a hanky sitting out for any Duke to pick up.
You make a fine point there, JJ. But
maybe you have blue hair and earrings,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean,
what would you tell the little princess?
I would be like, oh, dang
Date
it.
the unexpected and God might do the unexpected.
Thank you. Yes. But so modern day dropping the hanky is especially for women, but guys can drop the hanky too. But ladies, you can show a man interest. Eleanor agrees. Okay. But dropping the hanky does not mean you are planning the date. Okay. It doesn't mean that you're like, hey, do you want to go on a date with me? It's you opening the door. It's you giving the guy a green light.
Wait, do you share your favorite direct way to drop the hanky in
I'm
this
not
episode?
sure if I do.
Can you tell them about what happened in Norway? About your favorite line to drop?
Oh, yeah. So we were in Norway last summer and we got asked this question, as we do all the time. How do you drop the hanky? And then at the end, this lovely lady was like, normally
what's your favorite way?
Oh, my favorite way to drop the hanky is to actually go up to somebody that you know and if it's a friend at church or somebody you've known a little or just a new acquaintance, it doesn't matter. And you can be like, I would totally go out with a guy like you. Smile at them and just literally leave it there. And they're like, whoa, oh my goodness.
Dude, no guy would ever hear that and not smile from ear to ear and feel like the absolute Superman.
I know. They're
Clark
like,
Kent.
whoa,
I
oh my
know.
goodness.
That would floor a guy.
So, but in Norway, I had said that's how you drop the hanky. And then I had this girl raise her hand. Now, we normally don't take live questions. We do them on a Q&A system. So we don't answer them through the audience. But she was right in the front. And my gut said, don't pick on her. Don't ask her to share. But anyway, I did anyway. I said, oh, yes, ma'am, you right there. And she was like, that would never work. And I was like, what would never work? She's like, I could never say that here in Norway. Just culturally, that would never happen. And I was like, okay, well, just totally caught me off guard. But I would say no matter what culture you live in, you can be bold and show a guy that you're interested. It is, maybe you say it do something else. Like my friend Rachel Cheryl always says, maybe you send a birdie over, which does seem very fifth grade to do. However,
Super effective.
it can really work. So basically, what does that mean? You send a girlfriend of yours or a guy friend, if you're a guy, over to the guy or girl of interest and say, hey, you see that girl over there? Or like, you know, Kait, I know you're friends with her. You know, would you ever consider going on a date with her? Because I think that she might be a little bit into you. Or you kind of like gauge their interest somehow. And so you send a birdie.
It was kind of like when I was in 4th grade, I sent my best friend with a note to Allie, my crush. I won't say her last name for privacy reasons. And it literally said, do you want to be my girlfriend? With a checkbox yes and a checkbox no.
Okay, that's a little more direct, JJ. Yeah. Do you want to be my girlfriend? We're not even going out.
I know, we kind of skipped the dating phase.
Where's the pace? Where's the boundaries and pace, JJ?
Found, heart of dating quite yet.
Where's the RAM model? We teach the RAM model in School of Dating, so a lot of you guys probably don't understand that reference.
Yeah. So anyway, dropping the hanky, guys and girls, this is a great episode. Speaking of which, do you teach how to drop the hanky in school dating or?
Oh, yeah, we do. Are you kidding me? We definitely talk about dropping the hanky in School of Dating, which, by the way, you guys, our next class for School of Dating, which is our 8-week intensive mentorship program, it starts this coming June. Perfect for your summer romances. Okay. No, truly. We've now been doing this for 2 years and it's the best program that we've ever done. It's so rewarding. There's so much transformation and we are going to answer 2 questions for you today.
Well, actually, one of them I have.
Okay, what is it?
I had a friend ask me this. I thought it was such a good question because he's thinking about taking the program. He said, I'm currently talking to 2 girls right now. I'm dating multiple people. It's challenging and it's very fun. However, could I still take school dating even though I don't know where it's going to end up with them? And does that work? Like, can I take school dating while currently dating right now?
Or even in a relationship? Yes, absolutely you can. Why are you laughing?
She just farted.
She said, I didn't hear it. I wonder if they could hear it. That's hilarious. Maybe rewind it, you guys, 10, 15
Maybe this
seconds.
is her first and last episode.
I know, with Heart of Dating. Use some manners, Eleanor. Gosh. But yeah, you definitely can take School of Dating while currently dating or in a relationship. Actually, it's amazing for that because there's so many things that come up while you are dating that this program addresses and will help you through. So I think absolutely.
What was your second question?
Oh, the second question, people ask us this all the time. Do you have testimonials of people being in healthy relationships or getting married?
Do I get married if I take this?
Right. And we have been running it for 2 years, so not 10, okay? But yes, we do have many testimonials of people in relationships. We just got a message yesterday of somebody who is officially in a relationship. So we do get like lots of relationships that come out of this. And we have a few marriages. We actually have 2 marriages happening later this year.
Yeah. So what you're saying is if you take school dating, you're guaranteeing marriage.
No, I'm not guaranteeing marriage. However, yes, that does happen.
We do guarantee this.
Yeah.
You will love your single life in a way that you've never loved it before.
Yeah.
And you will actually enjoy dating.
Totally.
Whether you go on a date with your next husband or wife, or you have to go through a few more dates.
Totally.
Until you get there.
Yeah. So all that to say, are you interested? If you are, right now, you can get a $500 discounted price if you join our First Dibs list. This list is like a private list. It's a text list, and we send you the link directly. And if you're on it, even if you can't make the schedule for the June summer class, you'll be the first to know for the next class happening this fall. And you'll also get the lowest price. So to get on that list and get the lowest price right now, because you can sign up right now, you text First Dibs to 214-225-7772. If you're international and can't text that number, you can just email us, info@hodpodcast.com, and we'll send you the info.
Okay.
Okay, guys, now let's talk about dropping the hanky.
Wow.
Hey, my lovely friends. Okay, so many of you guys have asked me, Kait, how do I drop the hanky? Now, you've noticed I've talked about this for some time, both in previous episodes and also on Instagram. And maybe you've started to think, what in the world is this whole drop the hanky thing? And how do I do this? Well, let me ask you, do you ever find yourself thinking, there's just no good men or women out there? Does it sometimes feel like you're stuck in a dating wasteland? Or maybe do you feel terrified to show someone interest because you fear being awkward or maybe fear being rejected? Now, the first thing, just to answer those things, is that you should know you're not alone. I am a 30-year-old single woman living in LA who also happens to be a dating coach, which makes it ultra hard sometimes in dating. Talk about awkward answering the question, hey, what do you do? Awkward silence. But not only are these things I have personally thought or felt plenty of times on my own, but they are also some of the most common frustrations I hear from other men and women who just feel worn out in the dating sphere. Sometimes they even feel ready to give up. So I have a secret, okay? It doesn't have to stay this way. I have a very quick public service announcement specifically for the women out there. I think it's especially hard for Christian women because there has become a notion that women, we can't put ourselves out there because if we do that, it won't allow space for the man to lead, specifically in the Christian world. Okay, but y'all, ladies, I don't agree with this. Here's a truth to sink into. It is not unbiblical to show a man interest. It's not unbiblical to show a man that you are interested. Take Ruth and Boaz. They're probably the most classic example of this. If Ruth had not made her move in the shepherd's field, what would have happened? Possibly nothing. Truly, she'd still be staring at Boaz from afar until eventually he maybe got swept up by another woman, okay? So in the name of our amazing girl, Ruth, ladies, you can show a man that you like him. And then as things progress, you can ever so kindly leave him room to intentionally pursue you. Guys like to see that we are interested. And all the men listening are right now clapping. All the men listening said amen. Thank you. Praise the Lord, right? When a woman shows a guy that she's interested, when she throws him a bone, the man is like, praise God, she's giving me a green light. Truly, I have talked to so many guys who say that just they can't appreciate it more. They love when a woman shows that they are interested because it makes it so much easier for them. Get this, ladies, guys are also struggling with the fear of rejection. They are too. Think about it. As much as you might personally be afraid that the guy might not like you, you also have to know that men are the ones to ask women out about 88% of the time, which means they're also getting rejected a large majority of the time. And for those of you ladies right now that are thinking, yeah, Kait, but he has to be a man and quote unquote, suck it up and quote unquote, that's what men do. I just got to say, girl, he's also a human, okay? And every human feels the weight of rejection just like you do. And rejection is tough, okay? Rejection is something that I'm really passionate about talking about how we can conquer it, but it still affects us. So have grace, understand that the guys are feeling the weight of rejection as well. By showing a guy interest, you are not taking away from his ability to pursue you. You're just basically giving him a green light and dropping him hints and nuggets to indicate that you're open to him actually pursuing you. Remember this, there's a difference between desperately searching and contently being open to finding someone. You can own your desire for marriage and show a man interest without making marriage an idol or becoming obsessed with finding a husband. Also, let me talk to the men listening. Hello, brothers. How are you? I also want to encourage you guys through your own fears of rejection. Us ladies, we'd love to be asked out. And if you do ask us out, will you make it clear as day that it's a date? I know that in the days of dating in church community, there's just so many other awkward layers. I get it, but we don't want you to ask us to just hang out. That's confusing. We don't know what a hangout is. Is this a date? Is it just friends? I don't know how to show up. I don't know how to dress. We need to know that it's more than a date if that's what you're desiring. So be intentional and share with us that you want to get to know us more. Tell us that you want to take us on a date or tell us, hey, I think you're amazing and I'd love to get to know you more intentionally. We women appreciate the intentionality so much. So guys, I just want to encourage you, get around your other guy friends, encourage one another. Like we need to be asking women out more. Let's take those steps. Let's encourage each other on the way. This is important. The desire of marriage is something that so many of us really do want, but we're often not going after it because we're fearing that what's going to happen in community, or we're fearing rejection and all these things. So my thing is, we just need to exercise the muscle more. Women, show men interest. Guys, ask the ladies out more. We need to start exercising these muscles more frequently. All right. So ladies, now that you have permission to show a man interest, and guys, now that you've been encouraged to be more bold and ask women out more consistently, let's talk about how we can both drop the hanky more. Now, if you've never heard of this term, let me explain quickly. Drop the hanky is actually an old Victorian term used to describe when women used to drop their hanky, their physical hanky, at an event like a ball to catch the eye of a young, eligible gentleman from across the room. But though it's no longer the Victorian era, we can still make it known to men and to women that we like them. Okay. So let's talk about dropping the hanky, which is really just showing someone of the opposite gender interest. Now, guys, even though I say the word drop the hanky, and even though I say it a lot to the ladies, men, you can still do this. This is not just for the ladies. Even though I say it a lot to the ladies, this is for both men and women. All right. Here are the steps to dropping the hanky. First things first. Get in proximity. The likelihood of the person that you like spotting you from across the church service, becoming overwhelmingly enamored with you, and then coming up to you after church, it's not very high. Sorry to burst your bubble, but even though you might personally know that they exist, and maybe you felt that you've made eye contact with them, so they must know that you're interested. Maybe you've even stalked them on Instagram. #guilty. I've done that before. I get it. There's still pretty much a large chance that they may not even know that you exist, which just means you have to get into their bubble. You have to make it known to the person you like that you exist and that you're interested in them. You can't do that by sitting across the room from them and trying to make eye contact so that they'll just magically come over to you. So get in proximity. And then once you get in proximity, the next step is to actually ask them questions. So step 2 is to initiate with an indirect question. You start by asking them something that's not about them. It's just an icebreaker question. An example in a church setting would be something like, wow, that was such a good sermon, wasn't it? Or maybe you're somewhere else. Maybe you're not at church. Maybe you're at a coffee shop. You can say something like, have you been here before? What coffee do you like the best? What's good here? So this is the second step. Just initiate conversation with an indirect question. It's really basic. It's really easy to do. And think about it. How many people have actually done this to you? And maybe you're not even paying attention and realizing that they're showing you interest of some kind. And again, this doesn't mean that you have to date the person. We're just exercising the muscle of talking and showing some level of interest and curiosity in somebody else. Step 3, now it's time to follow up with a direct question. This is really where you're going to get curious. You started by connecting with a low pressure, indirect question, and now you want to follow that up with showing some curiosity about them specifically. An example of this, what this could look like, would be asking something like, hey, so are you from around here? Or maybe, do you usually go to this church? Or maybe you can do something even deeper and compliment them about something that's great that you've noticed about them, maybe a hobby or their singing or just their creative abilities. I don't know, whatever it is, show them that you are interested in them as a person. Show them that you think that they're an interesting person. Don't let the conversation die by just asking the basic indirect question. It's really important to then follow it up with a direct question. Remember this. God doesn't create boring people. He created a unique tapestry of human beings with unique callings and passions and unique, amazing ways of seeing the world. There is always something that you can learn by being curious and getting to know one of God's amazing sons or daughters. This is how we should see these situations. You don't have to go on a date with that person. You're just showing someone that they're amazing. You're showing someone that you appreciate the way that God has created them. And that's honestly an amazing thing. It encourages connectedness. It helps us to feel seen. It helps others to feel seen. And it's an amazing thing. So let me just give you some examples. These are some places where you can start dropping the hanky. At church, yes, ladies and gents, you can do this at church. Let's break the ice and start doing this. You could also do it at a birthday party, maybe for someone you know well, or for somebody you don't know that well. That's even a better opportunity. You could also do it at a networking event. You can do it while volunteering. You can do it on Instagram in the DMs. That's right. Slide into those DMs, baby. I love dropping the hanky on Instagram. You could also do it on online dating. The same concept can work to keep the conversation going and keep it interesting and flowing online. Y'all, drop the hanky works just about anywhere. Now, here's the deal with dropping the hanky. Even if the conversation does not go past a direct question, that's all right. Just embrace the win. You did it. You were bold. You were confident. You did something different and you put yourself out there. And this requires you embracing that small win. Guys, girls, y'all, anyone could do this. We need to get past those icky lies of fears of rejection that were once holding you back, because you can look them in the face and say, you know what, rejection, I see you, and you're not going to hold me down today. Not today. Remind yourself of the things also that you bring to a relationship. Remind yourself of the amazing qualities that God has instilled within you. I want to encourage you also to just shake things up and have fun with it. Don't forget to have fun with this process, because dating can actually be fun. God has created a ton of amazing men and women, and the good news is you only need to find one. So maybe in this process, you're just going to make an awesome group of friends as well, and there's nothing wrong with that. Embrace each small step as a victory, own it and claim it, and be proud. Now, the ultimate last question is, how can you commit to shaking things up and dropping the hanky in your life over like this next month, okay? What new things can you go to? Maybe consider challenging yourself to talking to a certain number of new people per week. What about sliding into the DMs of the guy or girl you thought was interesting or cute, but haven't gotten the courage to talk to yet? What about doing that? Y'all, it's time to start owning your identity as an amazing, worthy son or daughter of God, while also giving yourself space to embrace your desire of getting married one day, if that is your desire. I believe in you, and I'm in the boat right alongside of you, trying to do my best to drop the hanky as much as I can. So let's do this together. Let's encourage, empower one another. Let's challenge ourselves, and let's grab onto really deep inner confidence and drop those hankies. The Heart of Dating podcast is created by Kait and JJ Tomlin. Shout out to our epic audio and video editor, Scott Caro. We have an amazing Heart of Dating team who helps bring this show to you each week. I want to shout out Kelsey Napier, our Heart of Dating digital marketing coordinator, and Elena Gibson, our brand and community manager. We couldn't do it without them. Now, if you guys have never ranked us or reviewed us on iTunes or Spotify, would you consider doing that? It would mean so much, because our podcast can get more discovered and more people can learn how to better date as Christians. Don't we all want that? We launch our podcast each and every week on Wednesdays, so we will see you next week.